Hi, this is Michael with Peace and Favor, where we help you find your path to peace. Thanks for taking time to watch this video. I'm going to continue on the topic of Hidden Village, and today I'm going to just talk briefly about family and how important this is. Looking at the remembering our ancestors and honoring their sacrifices. That's kind of the foundation that we're working from when it comes to the village. That we're not just trying to live our best lives, but we're trying to live lives with purpose. And a lot of people had to sacrifice in order for us to get here. So I'm going to be sharing about ways that we can have those sacrifices transferred to something meaningful to us today and tomorrow. The great thing about being family is that we get to pass on legacies. We have a lot of shared traits. We can help each other feel at home. But we also can know that even if we don't live long enough to see the fruit of our labor, our kids will, our grandkids, our great-grandkids, but we have to put in the work so that they can get to the quote-unquote promised land. So today, I want to give a challenge as far as developing tail feathers. I want to challenge you to talk to your older family members. And like whatever your family is, whoever your family is, ask, like, where did our family come from? Like, when we first got here in this country, where did we live? Or probably easier, you might want to ask is, how did we end up in this town? All right, who was the first family members that came here? A lot of times, one person will move and then someone will move afterwards or join them. Or for some of us, when we were born, there was just a lot of family around. And we've just always been here. But there's always a how we got here. And see if you can find out, how did we get here? And not only how we got here, but what did we do when we got here? What have we been through? How have we left our footprints in the community? Like, what have we done to contribute to the betterment of the community? What have we done to help our family to be better? And there's specific people tied to that. Like, there was someone who, like if you're in a home, how did we get this home? How are we living on this part of town? Or were we always here? Did we live somewhere else? And what type of accomplishments have you had? Not just were you did we have someone that was a past president of the United States? But is it common in your family for people to graduate from high school? Because for a lot of families, that's not true. It's not a common thing. And so we need to celebrate things that a lot of times we take for granted. Like in my family, we used to, I don't know if you're a lot like this, we got money for having good grades. And now we had to get the grades whether we got money or not, that didn't matter. But the expectation was that you're gonna bring in A's and B's. And so when we got your report cards, you got money for it. And so that was kind of a motivation to stay on top of your grades. But they did that because they knew that those good grades, if we in turn were learning the topics that were being taught, the math, the science, the civics, history, etc., then that would help better prepare us for the world we were going to end up in. And so those things are tail feathers. And an example is, I'm a child of the 60s. I was born in 58. So I'm a child of the 60s/70s. And so I went to school in the 60s, elementary school, middle school, graduated in 76. So I lived in the best time of United States history, as far as I'm concerned, because we had the best music ever. I have a lot of stories to tell, but this one particular one I want to give today has to do with being a student at Jackson Heights Middle School in Oviedo, Florida. In Jackson Heights Elementary School, we moved there from Orlando, and to Oviedo from Orlando. And the principal there was S.T. Muller. That's what we know. It was S.T. Muller. I think his name was Stanley, but it was S.T. Muller. The Mullers were an important name in the community. But what I remember from the school was this. It was strict. The academic standards were very high. And later I found out, which was different, or I thought it was just normal, like Mr. Muller was black. All the school administrators were black, the teachers were black, and of course, the students were predominantly black as well. And to me, that was just normal. And so as a first grader, everything I saw was just the way it was. I figured that was the way everywhere. And so I attended Jackson Heights Elementary, but the expectations were like really high. We would have like assemblies, like early in the day before the day started, and the principal would come and speak to the school and try to motivate us and explain to us why it was important that we learned and applied ourselves to our lessons. He would emphasize on the teachers, they needed to do a good job and helping us prepare for our lives in the future. And so in school, it was like we had this huge responsibility to do well, not just for us, but for our entire community. And they would tell us about how they got in their positions, be it as an administrator, teachers, etc., and talk about the difficult path they had to take to get to where they are. And just having the school that we were in, the cement school with different rooms and everything, how that was an achievement. They didn't have that back when they were coming up. And of course, I couldn't imagine anything different because I'd never seen any different. And I wouldn't have known that they didn't have the same environment that I did if they hadn't told me. Anyway, I eventually left Jackson Heights and went to a different elementary school when we moved in the 5th grade, I guess. And in the 4th grade and the 5th grade. And I was stunned because the academic standards were much less. They were much lower. And people weren't, it wasn't a migrant area. And so a lot of the young people, a lot of the kids, their education was on again, off again, depending on where they were living at the time. They did a lot of travel, with the seasons and stuff like that, where whatever fruit or vegetables they were picking or cutting at the time. And so the academic level was much lower. And so in the, I guess, 4th grade, 5th grade, I got awarded the Citizenship Award, which was, I guess, a big deal at the time for them. And I didn't really understand what it was, but because I was, I guess, well-behaved, cooperative, like I'd be a good person in the community, I don't know, whatever. The main thing was this. Just by being the person that was taught to be at Jackson Heights in one place, when I went to a different place, it was looked at as exceptional. When I thought, and still thought, it's like, that's just normal. And so I got this award, and I think it was like 68 or something like that. And as a youngster, I didn't know what I did to get it. It's one thing if I got an award for getting certain grades, or for like some athletic endeavor, and I won races or whatever it was. But this was a citizenship award. And they said it's because I was such a kind person, and interacted with people well, communicated well. And but as a kid, I didn't understand why that would be something that was valued. And it wasn't until, again, later on at the different schools, being in different situations, that I realized that everybody wasn't striving to get along, and that people didn't respect each other. So I did look different as far as how I behaved myself, how I moved. But it wasn't something to me that was exceptional. And as far as my family was concerned, it was almost humorous because I was just being me. They were proud of me because I got an award, but it's like I didn't do anything exceptional to me. But a lot of times we do things that are normal to us that really are exceptional, are different, are amazing to other people. And we need to not just take it for granted. And when someone says that you're doing something that's exceptional or different, note it. It may be normal in your world, but to them, it is something different and not normal. And again, note it, because I was actually, at the time, I didn't realize it, I was setting a good example for the kids. It was also encouragement for the adults. But again, as the third grader, it's a fifth grader, dealing with it, it's like I had no clue what was like, thank you and all that, but I couldn't discuss it. I said, I got a citizenship award. What is that? I'm not sure. It wasn't until later that I find out. Anyway, but I'm sharing that to actually talk about Mr. S.T. Muller, the principal. His standards were ridiculously high, not just on the students, but on the teachers as well. This is an all-black school, and I've heard all these stories about how horrible our schools were, and we were underfunded, didn't have the materials, and those things were true. But as far as the quality of education, I was never challenged more at any school than I was at that elementary school, because the expectation was you're going to fully apply yourself, and you're going to do well, and it's responsibility on you to make the community better. After that, after I left that school, never had to deal with that again. We had, what do you call it, desegregation. And after that school, I went to mixed schools where they either bus the blacks into the white schools, or they mix it up some kind of way. And it was just a challenge just to exist in a new environment. But I never again heard about our responsibility as students to take care of our communities. And I never had the support of the teachers that I did after that. And so I just wanted to give that tail feather, Mr. S.T. Muller, whom I will always be grateful for the standard he set at that school, for his leadership, for the teachers that were there. A lot of those teachers would end up being administrators in the school district itself at a district level. But it was just, I was a part of that and didn't realize I was part of something bigger, because they poured into me what I was able to give back to the community later. This is Michael with Peace and Favor. Take your challenge, talk to your family members, figure out what impact your family has had in the community. Individuals, and even if someone was on the football team or participated in some club, that's tail feathers. And because again, we have been involved in almost every aspect of community growth and physical development in communities. Let's show it. Hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless.